Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie and I love any makeup, especially shiny, shifting, and sparkly eyeshadows. And today I'm going to be creating 6 looks with 6 quads from DeDe Signature. They did send these palettes to me to try out. I do believe that only one of these palettes is technically new, but these are all new to me. So these are all quads, which they're super cute. So the new one is the Pumpkin Spice palette and this color story. It's such a perfect, cute little 4-pan eyeshadow palette. It's just so adorable and I love all these colors. And then there's the peach palette, which is what this one looks like. They have a really nice ratio of mattes to shimmers. Then the coconut, which is a more neutral palette. Then we have the passion fruit palette, nice and bright. Look at this neon orange shade in it. And then the blueberry palette. I love blue eyeshadow, so this one's definitely one of my most favorite color stories out of all 6 of these, obviously. And then avocado, which is obviously a green little quad. It's so cute. And I was also really excited about this one. So let's get into some swatches of all these quads and then a look with each of these palettes, and I'll give you some of my thoughts at the end of the video. Priming with the icing primer from Glam. So I'm first going to be using the coconut palette, picking up some of the white shade, and I'm just going to lightly tap it into my crease with the primer. So I'm kind of setting it a little bit. I'm going in with that sequin shade that's like a warm brown with some golden sparkles in it, which I know are just going to blend away. Just going back and forth. Going in on the outer corner with the dark brown. I'm just packing it on first. And then I'm gonna swipe it outward, kind of blending it out in a sense. I'm gonna put on a little bit more. This is such an interesting shade. I feel like it doesn't look as dark on as it does in the pan. Like it looks a little bit red. So I'm gonna pack on a little bit more. Let's see if I can get a bit more depth out of it. Definitely more buildable. I'm also gonna take it under my lower lash line. Also taking it under my lower lash line. Taking the J-Cat glitter primer. I'm just gonna put it all over the lid. I'm just tapping it on. Picked up the only metallic shade in the palette and tapping it and swiping it on top of where I placed down the primer. This is definitely like that squishy kind of shade. I can see it squishing in the pan as I'm pressing my brush in it. Ooh, this is so pretty. I see a shift in it. Oh, that is such a shimmery shade. Oh, that's so metallic. So pretty. Since I don't have an inner corner highlight, I'm just gonna tap on the white matte shadow to brighten up in the inner corner, so that will be almost kind of like a highlight shade. Here's the finished look. Priming with the Glam Light Icing Primer. Using the Peach palette. Could be doing a halo eye, so I'm going in with the peachy shade. On the outer corner, I'm tapping it onto my lid, and I'm taking it into the crease, and then I'm gonna blend it out. And then on the other third, and then on the inner third of my eye, I'm taking the yellow, and I'm patting it onto the lid, and I'm taking it into the crease. Going back in with the peach and just packing it on a little bit more. Taking the peach under my lower lash line. And then the yellow. And I'm going to use the lightest pink and I'm going to put it right in the center in between the 2 shades. Going in with the J-Cat glitter primer and I'm tapping it right into the center of my lid, and I'm going to take it up into my crease. Taking the shimmer shade in the palette and I'm gonna put it right in the center over that glitter primer. Oh, this shade is so sparkly. I'm gonna bring it up into my crease and just kind of blend it out, blend the edges. Here's the finished look with the peach palette. already primed with the icing primer from Glam, and I'm going to be going in with the passion fruit palette. And I'm first going to pack the orange into my crease. Pretty much like it's pretty much a neon orange. So it is kind of blending away just a little bit. And then on the outer corner, I'm putting down the dark purple. There is quite a bit of fallout. I did pick up a lot. And I'm just putting that. Oh my goodness, it's a lot of fallout. And I'm taking it down there. Just gonna swipe it out. And that seems to be applying everywhere except my eyelid. It's definitely a little patchy. I switched out my brush and it's still not layering. Okay. Then I'm taking the purple under my lower lash line. It just seems like both of these mattes are very thin kind of formula, which usually is the formula that tends to not stick down on my eyes. I'm gonna go in with my finger because sometimes it helps to stamp it on with my finger and make it stick. So I just want to at least fix this outer corner. I'm also gonna bring the orange under my lower lash line. So I recently got this cut carver from P. Louise. It's basically kind of like a oil that's in solid form. I think it's like coconut oil. There's petroleum and coconut oil. It smells really good. And I'm really curious to see how well it works. So I'm gonna be using that to do a half cut crease. Oh, look at that. That is definitely removing very nicely. I'm assuming I'm gonna have to wipe that down though, because then I'm gonna have issues laying down shadow. So next I'm taking a clean Q-tip and I'm just gonna wipe over where I put the coconut, where I put the carver. And wow, that worked really well. Going in with the Glam Light icing. Just gonna follow where I cut that. I think I cut it a little too low, so I'm gonna take it a little higher. Take off and just trying to make sure I don't have making sure I don't have too much excess on my lid. That is definitely a really clean cut crease thanks to that thing. I never thought of using coconut oil like that. I don't know why. I just figured that would be something that wouldn't work. I'm just tapping it down, kind of setting it down in a way. Going in with the purple on the outer corner, just making sure it's on there and it's blended into the center of my lid. Next, putting on the J-Cat glitter primer, and I'm gonna put it exactly where I cut the crease, and I'm gonna take it all the way to this outer edge. I'm picking up this really beautiful metallic shade, and it's gonna go. And this is gonna go on this side. I'm basically gonna try to use it to cover up the patchiness. And I'm taking it on an angle. And then I'm gonna bring it all the way in here. And just making sure that it's blended out, there's no harsh edge. And then I'm taking the purple. It's gonna go above that. Here's a finished look with the passion fruit palette. Priming with the Natasha Denona eyeshadow primer using the avocado palette, going in with the darker green right into the crease. And I'm gonna use the light green to blend it out. Taking the dark brown on the inner lid and outer lid. Just wanna deepen it up. I'm gonna do another halo eye, and I'm slowly blending it up into the green. Same on here. Just packing on a little bit more in this corner. Taking just a little bit of the light green to help blend this out and bring it over here and bring some green on this edge. Taking the dark brown under my lower lash line. I'm going to take the green on the rest of the lower lash line. Putting the JCat glitter primer in the center of my lid. Taking the metallic green. Ooh, so pretty. I do feel like this one is just less sparkly as these other shades. And I'm kind of doing a triangle. And I'm taking it all the way up into my crease. And just blending out these edges. Going back in a little bit with that brown. Here's the finished look with the avocado palette. Already primed with the Devinah eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to be going in with the blueberry palette. Going in with the deepest shade, I'm going to create an eyeshadow wing. There's another matte blue shade in here, and it's very close to this one, but it does have sparkles in it, and they're just so similar when I swatch them. I really don't think that we needed both of these shades in here. I think this palette could have benefited from like a lighter blue or maybe a pop of color or something. So I am basically just gonna have one matte to use for this look. Actually, let me take the sequin shade and I'm gonna put it under the rest of my lower lash line just so you can see it's just slightly different tone, but it's super similar. This blue seems very hard pressed. I keep having to go back and forth, which there's nothing wrong with having to build up. Sometimes it's nicer. It gives you more control to be able to build up. Keep going. Putting down the JCat glitter primer, and I'm just gonna put it pretty much all over the lid down into the blue liner. And first going in with this blue, going to put that all over and just right into the liner. This shade is so stunning. Oh my gosh. So beautiful. And then above that, I'm gonna go in with the other shade. This one is a bit more translucent. I'm gonna go in with my finger and just layer it on. Ooh, look at that. It does have a little bit of a shift. Just taking that and gonna be a little messy with it. I'm also going to bring it into the inner corner. Put on the Lulu Lashes in Randy, and here's the finished look with the blueberry palette. Last look already primed with the Devinah eyeshadow primer, and I'm going in with the pumpkin spice palette. So I'm gonna put the orange into my crease, and I'm gonna take it only about halfway in my crease and just blend it upwards. And I'm gonna do another eyeshadow wing, and I'm using the dark green. I'm actually gonna switch brushes to cover more area. Taking it all the way along my lash line. It can get a little messy. It doesn't matter because I'm gonna be going in with shimmers there anyway. I'm taking it, connecting under my lower lash line, and then winging it out. Going in with the JCat glitter primer, I'm gonna do a fake half cut crease with it, and I'm gonna also take it down into the wing. I'm taking the darker green metallic, and I'm gonna put it into the liner, but not completely, and then bringing it out here a little bit, and then above that going in with the lighter shade. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, I love that. That is such a stunning, oh. Okay, I never want to take these eyeshadows off. They're so beautiful. I'm also going to use that as my inner corner highlight. And then going back in with the dark green and just cleaning up this wing. And here's the finished look with the pumpkin spice palette. I I just had so much fun with all of these. I think these are such well curated for pan color stories. Like, I feel like because there's only 4 eyeshadows, they all really have to serve a purpose in the palette. Overall, the shimmers are absolutely stunning in all of these palettes. Just very, very shiny and very smooth. The mattes I feel like a little bit different from palette to palette. Some of the mattes feel like they're harder pressed than others. Some of them feel thinner than others. For the most part, I had a great experience with all of the mattes except in the Passion Fruit palette. So I did just want to point that out, that they felt just a little bit different depending on the palette. And I like that not all of them are monochromatic. So if I was to just give you my thoughts on each of these and kind of rank them, I think in last place for me, in the 6th place, would be the Passion Fruit palette. This one, I just had issues with the mattes. They feel really, really thin and very, very dry. So they came on patchy, which is so unfortunate because the shimmers in here are so stunning, especially this shade right here. Oh my goodness, like this is one of my favorite kind of shades. I think just metallics in general, it's so beautiful. Then next in place would be the Peach palette. There's just no deepening up shades in here, and I love me some deeper mattes to deepen up with, so that's really the only reason why this one isn't one of my favorites. And the metallic shade in here, again, just super, super beautiful, very shiny, sparkly. And then I would say next up would be the Coconut palette, which, yes, it is a neutral palette, but I love the metallic in here, and there's a deepening up shade and a crease shade, and then the white shade you could use to set your eyeshadow, to help blend out the edges, etc, etc. And then getting into the top 3 really palettes out of all 6 of these, which I would recommend any of these top 3 really. So we have the Avocado palette, of course. I love my greens. I love that there's a deep brown that is very cool tone versus a deeper green, which makes it a little less of a monochromatic color story. The shimmer is really beautiful, very shiny, very smooth. And then we have a nice bright green option. Then there's the Blueberry palette, and oh my goodness, it's really unfortunate that the 2 mattes in here, which one of them has sparkles in it, but let's be honest, that's just gonna be a matte shade. It's really unfortunate that they're so close, because this would be like one of my most favorite little palettes of all time, because the metallics are so, so shiny, so sparkly. This one is more of a topper. You can just even see in the pan, it's so beautiful. It looks wet on the lid, and this blue right here, it's so, so vibrant, so shiny, so sparkly, but these are both very, very smooth. These layered also would be absolutely gorgeous. So I love, love those shimmers in there. And then my most favorite quad out of all 6 of these is the Pumpkin Spice palette. Oh my goodness, it's just so perfect. We have 2 mattes, we have 2 stunning shimmery shades. This one up here, there's just so much happening. I see green, I see purple, I see like brown as well, or like red in there. This one looks wet on the lid. It is more of a topper. This one has a little bit more pigmentation. This palette is such a perfect little cute quad. And I do have an affiliate code with DeDe Signature. It is Millie, and you can save 10% off your order. And let me know in the comments below which one of these little quads is your favorite, which look was your favorite. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's so much indie makeup content uploading on my channel and much more to come. You don't want to miss out, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.